Hello everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Ridin with Quattro. I'm James Quattro. I'm going to take you for a ride into work where we're going to talk about car stuff. Today the main topic is going to be NASCAR. Please like and subscribe. Ring that little bell so that way you get notified every week when I put up one of these videos. Today is a bright and sunny day, unlike last week where I was driving in a blizzard. If you haven't seen last week's episode, be sure to go look it up. Talked about last week's race. But this week we're going to talk about Vegas. I wish I could say it was as good as California last week. Again, reiterates why not just me, a lot of people are very disappointed to see California go. In my personal opinion, the racing last week at California was way better. I'm a little bit biased. I cannot say that I am not a Hendrick Motorsports fan. My roots in race fandom goes all the way back to Jeff Gordon in right around 2000. And inherited Jimmy Johnson, who arguably is one of the greatest NASCAR drivers of all time. 7-time and 5 consecutive, which was great. I never was really much of a Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan until after he retired. Got a lot of respect for him now. I really enjoy seeing what he's doing, you know, in the industry with North Wilkesboro and a lot of other tracks, and he's a big nostalgia guy, and I really enjoy that. But as of late, I've got all the respect in the world and really enjoy watching people like Chase Elliot and Kyle Larson. I had a lot of respect for Larson as a driver before he was with Hendrick. I really enjoyed watching him in iRacing, and I was watching that fateful day on iRacing during COVID when his life changed forever. I'd have to say, in hindsight, although he probably can't say this, it's probably one of the best things that ever happened to him in the grand scheme of things. But I've kind of fanned out a little bit. I respect lots of drivers, more than just the Hendrick camp. I enjoy drivers like Joey Logano in the Ford camp, Martin Truex Jr. in the Toyota camp, among lots of others. It's easier for me to list the drivers I don't like than the drivers that I like, honestly. But that's not what we're talking today. Today we're going to be talking about Las Vegas. Congratulations on Hendrick on 1, 2, 3. Is Hendrick back this year? Is 2023 going to be like 2021, where Hendrick just dominates almost everywhere and really just lays down the law? And if that's the case, who's going to be the dominant driver? Is it going to be the William Byron? Is it going to be Alex Bowman? I got to be honest, out of the Hendrick camp, those are my 2 least favorite. Is Kyle Larson going to finally put together some stuff and show why he is the greatest? He did lead quite a few laps there at the end and probably should have won the race had fate been a little bit more on his side. But then again, if we played what could have, should have, would have happened, there'd be a lot of different outcomes. Kyle Busch would have won the Daytona 500. So, can't really look at the coulda, woulda, shoulda. Everybody plays by the same rules and everybody has the same circumstances. So, it is what it is. But generally, I would say my general synopsis of Vegas is a snooze fest. That is my personal opinion. There is one topic that came out of Vegas that I am getting increasingly annoyed with, and that's the end links breaking. I know the sales pitch they give you on TV is, well, it's the weakest link and it's easy to replace, so we'd rather have that happen than bend everything else. But here's the thing. These cars are barely touching the wall and breaking end links. I cannot recall on the old car, if somebody just kind of slightly got up and brushed the wall like that they would have a race-ending failure. But for Joey Logano, that's exactly what happened. Definitely ruined the days of people like Kyle Busch and Josh Berry. I don't really understand why they can't figure out a way to make them be a little bit more durable, to where if they just graze the wall, they're fine. If you pummel the wall, stuff happens. I mean, you can't expect them to be completely, indestructible. But there's got to be something they can do a little bit better to make them a little bit more durable on that right rear wheel, so when they brush that wall, it doesn't ruin somebody's day completely. So, if anybody from NASCAR is watching, probably not. But if they are, please. What more can I say on that? The other big topic that came out of the weekend, probably the biggest headline out of the weekend, is the Chase Elliott storyline. I completely agree with everything that has been said, that these drivers have to be allowed to live their life. I really hate it for Chase Elliott. But, I've heard a lot of the other drivers say, well, we could be mountain biking, we could be doing this, we could be doing that, we could be walking down the street and have the same thing happen. And that's all true. So I hate it for him. I hope he can recover and come back in a timely fashion. And I really hope that NASCAR gives him the exemption. Since they've come out with this exemption policy, I can't think of a time when a driver was injured doing a non-NASCAR event that an exemption was handed out, with the exception of COVID. Obviously, COVID is what it is. But I can't think of a time, Kyle Busch was injured in an Xfinity race. Obviously, Kurt Busch, who didn't use the exemption, was injured in a cup practice. I really can't think of a time when an exemption was issued for a non-NASCAR injury. So hopefully, this event is going to set a precedent, and hopefully it's the right one. If they were doing something illegal or reckless to get injured, I could see where maybe an exemption would not be justified, but he was just living his life. And these guys don't live in a bubble, and I think he should get the exemption. But that begs the question, who's going to drive his car? Josh Berry drove it in Las Vegas. I don't think that was a fair shake on him. First of all, it's his first time in the car. And he was involved in a racing incident that put him a couple laps down. I don't think that should be his only shot at it. If he is a development driver for Hendrick and has promised to be in the Hendrick car in the future, I hope that maybe they give him the full opportunity to finish out this opportunity and get some seat time. Unfortunately for Josh Berry, I don't see a seat opening up in Hendrick anytime soon. So there's that. But stuff happens, and it seems like stuff's happening more now than it ever has. So I'd love to see him get that opportunity. If not him, there are a lot of drivers that lost rides over the past year or so that I wish I could see get another opportunity in a Cup ride just to show their stuff. The one that definitely won't, because he's a Ford driver, I'd love to see Cole Custer get another shake at the Cup Series. I think he's a lot better than what he showed at Stewart-Haas. I do think the problems at Stewart-Haas are much deeper than Cole Custer. Their ace driver is Kevin Harvick, and frankly, he's not even putting up the performance that he expects of himself and that we've been accustomed to seeing. So something at Stewart-Haas is off, and I don't think it was fair for that to be Cole Custer's only shake. But he's a Ford driver. I don't see him getting in the car. If I had to pick any dream driver to put in there, somebody that I'd love to see get another shake, and unfortunately I don't think he ever will, that's Matt DiBenedetto. I had the chance to meet him at Watkins Glen, and he is just a cool dude. He's not arrogant. He's not cocky. He doesn't think he's some all-star. You can walk up to him in the garages and talk to him as a nobody, and he gives you the time of day. We laughed a little bit about, at the time he was in question on his ride, and inevitably he ended up losing his ride. But I just kind of wished him luck and hoped that he'd find a ride. And he's back in the Truck Series now, but I'd love to have seen him get a little bit of a shake. But NASCAR radio is all hoping that Jimmy Johnson fills in. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's got enough on his plate with his own team at this point, and I don't really see him getting behind another Hendrick car, even if it's for 4 or 5 races. Maybe I'm wrong. The other way they could go is just try to find aces for each track. At the end of the day, they're not trying to get a driver in the points right now. They're trying to get a car. They're going for owner points. So why not just find the best ace every week to give you the best result to try to get the car into the chase? Into the playoffs, not a chase, into the playoffs. As we head to Phoenix next week. And Phoenix next week is going to be important for the teams, and it's really a shame that Chase isn't going to be there, because that is the only shakedown they're going to get for the Championship 4 race in Phoenix. And it's important practice for whoever ends up there, good team knowledge. Coda, maybe they can find a road course ringer for that track. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm definitely looking forward to what the future brings. I'm looking forward to Phoenix next week and the new aero package. I'm curious to see if the significantly lower downforce and drag can get the racing to be a little bit better at short tracks. I'm not sure how much worse Vegas could have been. That last couple laps was kind of exciting. I just hate to see the parading around the last couple laps. And we got a lot of that this weekend. So, well, that about does it for the second episode of Ridin with Quattro. If there's anything that you want to see or have me talk about, please leave it in the comments below. I'm always looking for new topics. If there's something you want to talk about, or if you want to react or give me some feedback on what we talked about, what's your opinion on everything we discussed today? Who do you think should be driving the number 9 car? I'd love to hear it. I'd love to know the feedback on that. Please, please, please like and subscribe. Someday I hope to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I can't do that if people don't hit that button. So please subscribe, ring the notification bell. I'm going to be doing one of these Ridin with Quattro every week. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, what's on my mind. So please ring the notification bell. Every week I've also been doing walk around videos. Check out the Bronco video that I did this week. I just uploaded it. It's on a 2-door V6 Big Bend. So check that out, as well as all my other walk around videos. Until next time. See you later.